Hey everybody, how is it going? It is your pal, Sal here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my Cyndi Lauper discography journey. Today we are tackling her fourth studio album, Hat Full of Stars. So before we get there, and just a little bit of a refresher on our last video in which we reacted to A Night to Remember, or as some people may call it, A Night to Forget, her third studio album. I will say, as always, re-listens, they always do warrant something good. And while I still think out of the three albums I've heard, I do think it's my least favorite album, the one thing I did realize in getting a few straight through re-listens is that the album actually does flow together really nicely compared at least to the other two, which are a little disjointed is the right word, but one track just seems different from the next. There is a better flow to Night to Remember, weirdly enough. And one other little mistake that I didn't realize I made at the time, but as we all know, I was very upset that Primitive was not a single, and apparently it actually was, although it didn't do well at all. But if you look at the Cyndi Lauper discography page and you go to singles, it's listed there, and I believe Insecurious is listed as a single as well, maybe something else, I'm not sure. But for sure Primitive. And so I'm glad to hear that it maybe was, I don't know. There is also a single, maxi single that exists on Discogs as well too, but there's no remixes or anything on it. So yeah, there's that. But a few re-listens have helped. I did listen to the Nina version of I Don't Want to Be Your Friend, and I did think that that version was much better. It did sound much more like a 90s ballad at that point, and I think that that was just something that it honestly sounded like Save the Best for Last, or that kind of tone that Vanessa Williams had. That's what it reminded me of, so I did like that. Anything else to add? No, I think that's it. So we're gonna put the third album aside, and again today we are tackling her fourth studio album, Hat Full of Stars, not A Hat Full of Stars. And it was released on June 22nd of 1993. So with this album there is a 4-year gap between the last one, which is, I believe, our biggest gap so far at the moment. Not the biggest we'll get, though, from what I've looked at. But this album, unfortunately, I feel is truly the beginning of when Cyndi stopped having good successes, at least commercial wise, because this album only hit 112 on the Billboard 200. What I gather is that this album is very critically appreciated, but commercially it just did not do well, so we'll see what the people missed out on. There were a total of 4 singles for the album, 2 of which I've heard, and that includes, if we're talking the whole album, 2 of these songs I've heard because of, as we remember, I'm seeing her next month, and I've listened to the set list, and there's 2 songs from this album that are on the set list. So the first single, coincidentally, is one of them, and that is Who Let in the Rain, which hit number 33 on the US Adult Contemporary Billboard chart. The second single was That's What I Think, which hit number 14 on the US Hot Dance Club Play chart. The third single, which is one I've heard because of the set list, Sally's Pigeons, and the fourth and final single was Hat of Stars, and the last 2 singles did not chart at all. And also, none of these songs charted on the Billboard Hot 100. The first album of Cyndi's did not have at least a top 10 single, actually, so, because I think I Drove All Night was in the top 10. It's been a few days since I filmed that video, but I know it was a hit. Yeah, I'm excited. I do believe that this is the vision I'm getting for this album. What I want to keep calling the last album I Drove All Night, but A Night to Remember, I was expecting it to be very not ballad heavy, but it ended up being ballad heavy. And this is the vibe I'm getting on the 2 songs that I've heard. And the cover looks a little sad, so there's that. There's something specific I want to talk about with Sally's Pigeons, but we'll get there when we get there. We do have 1 bonus track to listen to today. So all in all, I think we should get started. And here we go. We begin with track number 1, That's What I Think. Okay, we're getting a little funky. That's not what I was expecting. This is so weird. It's combining an R&B funky type vibe with what sounds like a medieval folk tale. Okay. It's the flute. That's what makes it sound like that. Amen. There's too many kids in this world. Come on. Okay. I think about you. Ooh, that was nice vocal. Come on. Okay, that's what I think, and I actually really enjoyed this as an opening song. So one thing real quick, I did pull up the Wikipedia page, and as I mentioned, this was a number 14 Hot Dance Club play song. Turns out there were a lot of remixes for this song. So there's an album edit, the Slugger mix, the Deep mix, the Musto Club mix, the Vasquez Club, Junior Vasquez, okay, Club mix, wow. Okay. Yeah. I think that's all of them. Oh yeah. But there's different Musto. There's the Musto Dub and the Musto Club, and a live version too. So, they really were banking on this being and I mean, I guess it kind of was. I mean, top 14, that's not bad for a dance hit. I'd be curious to hear how those are, because as it is right now, it's weird how it's like this weird funky R&B with, again, that medieval pipe sounding thing. That's interesting. And, it's almost kind of like, I feel like this is like her combination of two of her past songs, even though What's Going On isn't her song. It feels like kind of like it's giving a message like that. But then also it's kind of like giving a little bit of calm inside the storm. Like when I think about you, that's when, I feel good. Cause like all these thoughts that are going around the world, what's going on in this world, is sometimes too much. That was an interesting opener, but, that's what I think. It's almost kind of amazing to me that, I'm gonna have to listen to some of these mixes because I'm curious. I wonder what the single version, if that's different. I wonder if they cut out the medieval pipe, in that version. I like that actually. I'm gonna give that a like. I enjoyed it. Track number 2, Product of Misery, which that sounds a little sad. Okay, we're in band in school. Okay. See the frown. Oh, that vocal. Misery. I love that. That was so nice. Oh, okay. So my first thought with this song is that I wonder if it's based on personal experience. Like, did Cyndi know somebody who was like this and she was like, I'm never going to be like that person. They are just filled with dread and despair, and I don't want my life to be like that, which I think is, a good message. But I'm also like, if this is real, that poor woman that she's writing about, although it seems like, she probably wasn't that great of a person, but was that because of her circumstances, or could she have been a good person, or was she just not a good person at all? There's so many questions to be asked here. And I think my main takeaway is her name Annie, or did she have a friend named Annie who said she must confess? I don't know. But apparently she ended up finding a man because she was buried with her wedding. There's a lot of rhyming in here. Buried with her wedding dress. A very interesting second track. Definitely like a good album track. Like obviously this is not a single, but Yeah, that. Damn, she really went in. If her, I'm gonna call her Annie. I think that's her name. I don't know, but okay. Well, I don't want to be like her either. I've known people that like that, especially when I went to school. Um, this girl that lived down the hall from me, she was definitely a product of misery. So I get it. I don't want to be like her either. So I stand it. Track number 3, Who Let in the Rain, which was the first, or the lead single, I should say. And again, I've heard this because of the set list. But again, it's always different when you just have it with like an AirPod in just playing in the background at work. So this is the first time I'm going to get to like look at the lyrics and, you know, dissect it. So here we go.
I always thought we'd be together down the line.
So they didn't make it. Oh. Okay, so before this, again, I couldn't tell you exactly what the song was about, just the title, Who Let in the Rain. But it seems like they were in a relationship, and then the relationship went sour, but the sourness is represented by the rain, which obviously doesn't take a genius to figure that out, but getting to actually look at it, I get it now. So here we go. There was that song, or no, it's in, but she didn't write that one when you were mine, but she mentions that he didn't have the decency to change the sheets. Call back maybe? Who knows? That's Mariah Lauper right there. Okay, that was Who Let in the Rain, and that is an absolutely beautiful, gorgeous ballad. I kept thinking, I don't know why, because lyrically they're different, but I feel like this was the song that I Don't Want to Be Your Friend from the last album. I feel like this is what it wanted to be, and it just wasn't giving that. But Cyndi Lauper is really nice. It's a very nice low vocal from her in here. And you know, the symbolism of this of the rain, but of this relationship being, you know, like, you know, broken apart because of the rain coming in, I think is a really pretty picture to think about in your head. I definitely can think of, well, I've not been in a relationship with a man, unfortunately, yet. I can think of a couple of friendships I've had where I probably would wonder the same thing, like who let in the rain. I probably wasn't me, I'll tell you that. But gorgeous. And actually, this one I think will be really nice to hear live at our concert. And now, you know, getting to sit here and listen to it, I'm even more excited. Track number 4, Lies. Okay. Okay. That was a nice transition right there. Oh, she's telling him off. I love it. The song is like doing something different here, and I don't know if I'm loving that. You know, I did like it, but I will say, with this song, there's the point, like, I think it starts around like 2 minutes in. It's like really truly in between the 2 and 3 minute mark that it's like trying to switch up some things, and where it's like trying to switch it up, that's not really working for me. When it's just like the "Don't tell me your lies," when it just sounds like she's kind of crawling down in the dirt with the dude, and she's like, no, 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 don't tell me these lies. But it was really losing me when it was like there was like just too much going on at some points. Which is weird because it's almost like there's too much going on and not really much going. I think it's because there's not much going on for this song. It's too drastic for me. And who knows, again, in repeat listens that could change, but that was a little jarring with this first listen. I like that this takes place right after Who Let in the Rain, because like it's kind of like the second part of relationship where it's like Who Let in This Rain, but it's like still it's like, dude, no, don't tell me those lies. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give this one a few more tries because where it was switching it up, I was like, what are we doing here? I kind of just liked it when it was more simple, you know. And I kind of now want to sing the Hillary Duff song, Lies. I'm done with your lies. Your la 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 lies. La la la. Yeah. Track number 5, Broken Glass. Okay. That's right, don't. Oh. Damn, first she's going off on Annie in the other song, now she's going off her mother. Oh my. I want to groove with it, but these lyrics are so dark. Oh, what happened to her? This production is in such contrast with these dark lyrics. She killed him? Oh my god. Broken glass. Okay, that was Broken Glass. And the first thing that I really thought with this album, even if I didn't think of it when we were doing or listening to That's What I Think, this was the first one I was like, oh yeah, this album is from the 90s. Like, this sounds so 90s, and I absolutely love that. So it's cool to hear Cyndi make her way to that sound. Now with this song, it's so interesting how like the beat is like, you know, kind of fun, a little funky fresh, if you will. And but yeah, this is telling a story, and I hope that this is not, I doubt it, I don't think she's a murderer, but it could be based in some truth, but about a woman who, you know, watched her mother be abused, and she's like, I'm never going to be abused, and then flash forward, found herself in the cycle of abuse, going down like shattered glass, just like her mom. But then, yeah, but what like, And I felt like broken glass. When I fell to the ground, I heard the sound of thunder trailing off. When it started coming around, and I couldn't make you stop. And I wouldn't let you go. So every time I got back up, like broken glass, you went tumbling down. The slightest thing could spark you. There was always hell to pay. I could feel your darkness in me, and I just knew what to say, and I just can't remember. But it sounded like a gun, but it could have been a fire. It could have been a firecracker. I love that lyric. It could have. Oh, wait, but it could have been a firecracker. It could have been a firecracker. Made me run. Wait, maybe he was shooting. I don't know, but I mean, hey, if she took him out, good for her. But yeah, that makes me think this isn't based in truth. I hope not. Oh my God, could I imagine if I found out Cyndi Lauper killed someone? Well, he probably deserved it. But oof, okay. That was just I really just enjoyed it. It was a very like there was just a lot going on here, but okay. So yeah, I think I stand broken glass. I do. Track number 6, Sally's Pigeons. Now, before we get to the song, the one thing I want to express is that when I heard this song in my ear, I really just, I was like, this has got to be about something. This has got to be about, there's something deeper going on here. And again, I wasn't listening to it too closely, but I was like, this sounds like there's something going on here. And I was like, okay, we'll listen to the song together and we'll, go through the lyrics and blah, blah, blah. Well, I kind of ruined it for myself because it tells you what the song is about right on the Wikipedia page. So when I was getting all the details for, charts and all that, I read it and I was like, damn it. But so before we go in, this song is actually truthful, and it was inspired by a childhood friend of Cyndi's who got pregnant in her teens, had a back alley abortion, and then died. So that's horrible. And yeah, I didn't think that that's what this song was about. So we're going to listen to this one closely. And here we go. So this is, what track is this again? 6? Yeah, 6. Okay, so here we go. Sally's Pigeons.
Running down my alleyway in time to watch Sally's pigeons fly. They love to watch them dive and soar. Put away my body can look out overhead while Sally's pigeons fly. I had a fool's confidence that the world had no boundaries, but of the boy next door. She had her eye across the street.
I think she's talking about both of their first crushes. That's so, oh my God, the lyric, we lived our dreams and challenged fate. In tears she told me that she was late. Oh. Knowing the meaning behind it, that's so pretty. But it's interesting how it doesn't, like, it's not very, well, I mean it is, but how do I put this? It's subtle in the way that it tackles, this friend's death. It's not like, I feel like it's probably clear that I didn't hear it the first time I listened to it with headphones, and the reason why. You could almost miss the lyric about, where she's saying, she left one night with just a nod. She was lost from some back alley job. That's so crazy that the way she writes it, though, that like the last like look that Cyndi had of this friend, it was just so nonchalant, like, oh, I'll be right back, and she never came back. That's really sad, but it's a really, really pretty song and a lovely vocal from Cyndi. And I love how it begins a cappella. That's like right, oh wait, no, yeah. And then she talks about like how they would play, I guess, with a pirate smile. And then she never, or I can't remember when a pirate smile has it made me cry. That's really pretty. Track number 7, we have a Christmas song called Feels Like Christmas. A couple of things. I'm very glad that I'm reacting to this in November because I've already started listening to Christmas music, so it's not going to feel out of place. Number 2, very odd to have a Christmas song in the middle of this, album, especially because I know we have Cindy's Christmas album to tackle, but that didn't come out for like a few years after this. And I know that this song was actually slotted onto that album. Number 3, if the title feels like Christmas, I wonder if it's technically not a Christmas song and it's just like something good that's happening in her life that makes her feel like it's Christmas. So we'll see. Going a little country, okay. There's that kind of like the fluty medieval sound again. Oh, it sounds like a recorder almost this time. Okay, that one wasn't expecting. I like this sound right here. Very kindred spirit opening. Anyway. I had a feeling. I don't even know what I'm doing. Oh, is it a violin? No. Fiddle? Fiddle. Maybe a fiddle. I don't know. Oh, the country sounds. Okay, that was Feels Like Christmas, and my hunch was correct. It's not really a Christmas song. It's more about just feeling like it's Christmas, like every day of the year. Louis makes her feel that way. Louis making her feel good. He's making her feel like it's Christmas. What's really nice about this is that I could feasibly see myself listening to this any time of the year because production-wise, it doesn't really sound like a Christmas song. But because it's got a lot of Christmas in it, it says a lot. You could still slot it in like they did with her Christmas album, but it really works on its own too. Actually, I don't know why. It's a simple song, but I think that might be my favorite new thing I've heard. I like the production, the country twang to it was really nice. And you would think with this album that's been a little more like R&B flared. Well, not necessarily, but I feel like there's more R&B in this than the last albums. It fits, weirdly enough. I don't know, it just felt nice. And I feel like it felt like a nice release after the sadness of Sally's Pigeons. I liked it. Track number 8, Dear John, and I feel like we're gonna get a sad song again, so here we go. First it was Louis, now it's John. Maybe it's not sad? She's name dropping a lot of people in this album. Yeah. Pigeon. That sounds familiar right there. What does that remind me of? It's so interesting. That, what does that sound remind me of? Okay, that was Dear John, and something about this, I don't know, it wasn't working for me. It felt like she was, I hate saying this, but it felt like she was trying really hard to be edgy, and with especially that, like, the vocal was like so dirty, you know. But I don't know, there was something, it wasn't working for me. And then there's like little aspects in the production where I hear this like stuff that I really like, and I wish it was going more in that direction, giving it a little more of a fuller sound. Because it's like really drum heavy. This, right? Whereas it's like right here. Hang on. Bum, bum, bum. I love that in the background. I wish there was more of that in there. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's just I don't like what's happening here. It doesn't feel like dark. It doesn't feel like edgy enough to be considered dark. You know what I mean? If it had gone for a darker tone maybe or something, I don't know. But what's weird is that I like those layer tones that are popping out. I don't know. Yeah, this just didn't do anything for me. Track number 9, Like I Used To. Okay, this is like the opposite of Dear John. Oh, that's a very like babyface sounding vocal there. Is this? These background singers, they kind of sound like the background singers on the Sam Ward remix of Paradise Is Here from the US version of Cher, It's a Man's World. That's right now. That's reminding me of. More take, okay. Okay. Shoot. I like the scrappy vocals here. Okay, that was Like I Used To, and this was a very rather joyful song. The vibe I'm getting is just a woman. Well, first of all, she starts off, it's kind of like the anti Shattered Glass. Like right away, she's like, where was she saying? Well, I ain't gonna walk up behind things and take things lying down like the way I used to before. I won't take your crap the way I used to. This is a woman she's found her way in life and she's grooving. She's on her way. She's feeling good about herself. I like that. It's fun. Cyndi is clearly having, which is so funny, where she sounds like not so happy on the last one. She sounds so joyful here. Like she was feeling this one. I wonder if she ever did this live, because I feel like this would be a really fun one for her to do. Let me look it up real quick. Oh, she did. There's a video of her doing it in Canada in 1993. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out, because I think she was living her life there. Track number 10, Someone Like Me. Her vocals here sound very like, it's weird. It almost sounds like they recorded the same day as like Time After Time. Like her voice sounds like her Time After Time like sound. I don't know if that makes sense. That was Someone Like Me. And what really, I really truly feel like I get what this is going for. This is about a woman who is, not content with her life and wants something more. And I think the production does a good job of mimicking that feeling, because like it starts off, really normal, and then it's just like it kind of keeps going in all these different directions, because she just wants something more and it doesn't know where to go, and she's being pulled into different areas. And I feel like the production mimics the lyrics really well. First listen though, I don't know, it just was not really my favorite. This is not even the longest song on the album. And it felt to me like the longest. I don't know, I was just kind of ready to wrap it up. I was like, okay, I get it. I think maybe the premise was super easy to get, and maybe I was just a little tuned out for that after a certain point. It kind of reminded me of, what was the other one where they were some of them have like gotten busy, but Someone Like Me. There's some fun things going on here, and maybe it was just a little too jarring at first. And so maybe with repeat listens, I could like it more. But I get what it was going for, and I think it succeeded in what it was going for. I just don't know if I loved it, So do with that what you will. Track number 11, Apart, Hate. This is not where I thought we were headed. This is like her state of the world. State of the world today. Not haunted by white sheeted ghouls. I mean, I didn't expect. Obviously it's anti them, but I didn't expect the KKK to be making a appearance in this Cyndi Lauper album. Okay, but I mean, hey, I get what she's. Yeah. Is that her in the back of that? Choir is nice. Okay, that was Tear Apart or Apart Hate. So first of all, it's interesting to me that she could have called this song Tear Apart Hate, but she called it A Part Hate. So it's not even a part hate, it's A Part Hate. I think that's an interesting way of titling it. At first, I was not loving it. I was getting like after school special vibes, which can be like really cheesy. But then after a while, it really started to stand up on its own. It was kind of, again, it's funny that there was a song in here earlier. What one was it? That was kind of given, at first I thought that's what I think was given, kind of like her version of What's Going On. But this is kind of really her What's Going On, It's also kind of like her Janet, I wonder if she heard Janet Jackson's State of the World and got a little inspired. Because there was parts of this lyrically that were very similar. I like that. It became something that really could stand up on its own. And then the choir was coming in, and the instrumentation was really beautiful. It was just kept building, and I thought that was really gorgeous. I want to know, has she done this one live? Because I feel like this would be a good one as well too. Part Hate. Oh yeah, she did it at the Hollywood, and recently, 3 years ago, she did it at the Hollywood Bowl. I liked it. I really did like this one. Actually, this one might go down as one of my favorites from the album. So, okay. Track number 12, the final track of the album, and our title track, and our last single, Hatful of Stars.
Searching for my hat, I thought I left it by the door. So I tore around the room like a bird without a head. And all I had was a handful of stars. One out of his treasure, the one that you want.
Okay, gorgeous. I think, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but what I was where I was picking up with the lyrics here, is that like she was talking about, just childhood innocence, like when like all that she had was just this hat, and this hat could be, well, I don't know if the hat necessarily could be anything, but just like living with the imagination of a child. That's kind of the vibe I was getting. Um, I could be wrong though. I don't know. I don't know if it was cryptic, but I thought it was really pretty. I mean, just the idea. I was really I really could picture myself in this room with her. I don't know if that's like crazy or not, but it was a really pretty song and a pretty ending to the album as a whole. And interesting that this was the title track of the album. Because she does, I mean, I feel actually, come to think of it, this album is like her reflecting. I don't know if all of it's true, but seems to be like a lot of reflection on life in this album. Whether it's personal or not, or just inspired, loosely inspired, I don't know, but it's fitting. Okay, we are officially on to our one bonus track. So this song was never included in any edition of the album. It's only a B-side, and it was a B-side to Who Let in the Rain and Sally's Pigeons. This song is called Cold. I forgot who it was, but someone was very adamant that I listened to this on some of my comments. So here we go. This is Cold.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Backing vocals are great. That's in the background. It's cold. Okay, that was cold. And another really great B-side. I've actually been thoroughly happy with Cyndi. It's kind of got the unabbreviated love vibes. And similar to like Hole in My Heart Will Be Out of China, it feels very, pumped up anthemy. The things I could think of as to why maybe this wasn't included, because I did like this actually a lot. I don't know if I think it could be a single, but it wouldn't be far-fetched for it to be a single. It starts off it's like this. It starts off very loud, and I wonder how that would like fit in the context of the album, because I feel like every song takes its time to build up to where Cold I feel starts at. And lyrically, I feel like it does have some similar tendencies to Who Let in the Rain, because it's kind of talking about when did this relationship get so cold, and like who let in the rain to this relationship. So I could see that. And then it kind of seems like she's a woman who's like moving on with her life too at some points, which I feel is similar to what was that other, maybe Like I Used To. I can't remember it like lyrically at the top of my head, but I'm happy to have heard this, and I really think that this is one that I'll find a lot of repeat value in. So cold, I liked it though. I think it's a shame. I think maybe I get why it's not on the album, but it's a shame that more people wouldn't have been able to hear it then. And this one isn't on streaming, so that's a sad thing too. But I like it. It's that cold. I think you know what, especially because I forgot to mention in the beginning, but Unabbreviated Love is like, I'm really liking that one a lot. So I think this is one that I think I'll really enjoy too. Okay, guys, we have finished Cyndi Lauper's 4th studio album, Hatful of Stars. And I can say I am so happy that I took the time today to listen to this. I feel it was a vast improvement over I Drove All Night. Or not I Drove All Night, A Night to Remember. So this is the first album that Cyndi, I believe, from what I gather, she has writing credits on every single song on here. So I think it's very clear she was passionate about this project, and I feel like it was a good step forward after, A Night to Remember, because I feel like A Night to Remember was trying to move forward, but it didn't quite make its way there, and this one I feel actually did. The one thing that I could say, though, is that I do think I understand why this album failed commercially. Like, realistically, I don't hear anything in here that I'm like, oh my gosh, how was this not Cyndi's next #1 single? But I don't think that that's what she was going for either. It still feels like there's a lot of like good, like I don't know. There's still some nice radio friendly stuff in here. I feel it doesn't feel like she went down like the dark artistic, still, really good, but like no way anything could be commercial. It feels like a good middle ground of finding a good, place to go forward, but not necessarily playing to like what would be on the radio at the moment, but still sounds that I feel you could hear on the radio. We had 13 songs we listened to, and out of all of them, there's only 2 I don't have likes next to. And I feel like in repeat listens that could, change. So for our singles, Who Let in the Rain and Sally's Pigeons, those are the big ones that I think people remember from this album. Gorgeous, beautiful, stunning. And I really, really do like them. And hearing Who Let in the Rain and getting to know more of the meaning behind it, and in Sally's Pigeons too, that really, changes a lot with how you feel about it. I do actually think it's interesting, now looking back on this, that Hatful of Stars was released as a single, because Sally's Pigeons, by the way, a train's coming by my house in case you can hear it on camera. But I think it's interesting that Hatful of Stars was released as a single and Sally's Pigeons was released as a single. Like, I don't feel like you would put those two as singles. At least one of them, you have to pick one or the other, but they're so like sad story-driven songs that I kind of find it interesting that both would be released as singles. What else do I think could have possibly been released? It's hard to say, because like there's nothing in here that's like, all that commercial. I could maybe see if it was around Christmas time, but this album came out in June, but you still could have waited till December or November to push out Feels Like Christmas. I feel like that was a really nice song. I think it might be, I don't know what my favorite song might be on this, actually. They were all really good, and I feel like a few more re-listens I think I'll solidify that, but at the top of my head, like really right now, Feels Like Christmas I really, really liked. I really, really liked Apart Hate, and come to think of it, I really did kind of like Cold too, even though Cold feels a little separate from the album, which it kind of is because it's already a B-side. But like some of them are just like really, really good album tracks, like Product of Misery, that's a really good album track. Broken Glass, what was Like I Used to? I think that there's a lot that I'm gonna have to reprocess here in a couple of re-listens, but I definitely, again, I see why critically this is good. Like, I really like what's in here, but I do wonder, coming in the future, is this an album that I'm gonna flock back to a lot? I'm curious as if this is one that everybody out there, in cyber world, if this is something you guys flock to as well too. I don't know, like I said, every time I say this, only time's gonna tell, but I'm curious to give this a few re-listens. Unfortunately, I would love to buy the vinyl for this one, but as this was released in 1993, this is when vinyls were starting to go out of style, and there are some vinyl issues of this. They were from other countries, and they are all, I think, $80 and over, and that's too much money that I don't need to spend. I have been thinking of getting into cassette collecting again. I used to have like a little mini Walkman, but then I really just collect vinyls and CDs, but sometimes now I find CDs to be a little boring, even though I like having them physically, but I'm like, a tape, I don't know, a cassette tape, I feel like, because then I could see it playing. With a CD, you can't really see it working. You can, but you can't, but with the tape, you see that little thing going through, much like the needle on the record, you see it. I love seeing it. So I might get this on cassette. I don't know, we'll see. Do I need to spend money on a cassette player? Probably not, but I don't know. So yeah, I am actually very happy with Hatful of Stars. I'm excited to give it a few re-listens, and we'll see where time will take me. But what do you guys think of Hat of Stars the fourth studio album by Cyndi Lauper, let me know in the comments below. As always, do not forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on TikTok at SalRocha1 and Instagram at Salvador J. Rocha. And I will see you guys ever so soon. Actually, just so you know, the plan is, I don't usually react to greatest hits albums, but instead of the next album after this, I believe would be, is it Sisters of Avalon? Yeah, I think that's the next album after this. But in between that, after this album, there was a greatest hits album that was released, coincidentally 1 year after this, and I feel like that's very telling, considering this didn't do well commercially. They were like, let's pump out a greatest hits album. But I'm going to be reacting to the songs from the greatest hits album. Not all of them. The ones we've already covered we're not doing, but any new songs that were, because it's like, this was the greatest hits album that she took part in. So she recorded like 3 new songs, and there's a B-side to one of them, or there's a 4th song in there that's actually a B-side. It's not a single. But anyways, we'll tackle that when we go to it. I got that all ready to go, written down. You know, I got my notes here. So see, I gotta be ready. But yeah, so there's that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Have an amazing day. Bye.